Hello, my name is Chris. To let you know what kind of guy I am, I love to skateboard, I love to snowboard, and I am very, very proud to be computer geek, so there go away. No, seriously. My friends and I are landing in San Francisco, my camera in hand, to document the launch of a new website that celebrates a 27-year-old computer called the HP3000. Now, the HP3000 is this mid-size corporate business server thing that most people never ever see. It runs companies, but it's very much in the background, not very flashy. Now, the angle of this whole thing is 27 years is a long time for any technology to be out there. But it survived, and it continues to thrive, and that's because of its people. And this film is a celebration of those people and their wonderful computer. Now wait, this may sound a little weird, but this is a very personal event for me as well. I spent a big chunk of my life learning from these people, so let me explain. What I really wanted to do when I grew up was be some kind of athlete, some kind of jock. I did not want to be a computer geek. It wasn't my intent, it just kind of ended up that way. I did geek on the side, but nobody knew about it. I was a closet geek, so, you know. Anyway, by total accident, it was the first computer I ever touched when I was very young. They told me not to touch it. Never tell a kid not to touch something, because it's what I did. I touched it anyway. I almost got fired from my semi-volunteer, might as well not be earning any money job, but I was in love, man. After that, that's how it all started. The more I learned about the computer, the more I found out the 3000 was basically an underdog. Ever since it was designed and built, it was misunderstood. And I prided myself, thank you, on being misunderstood too. Now remember, I was very young, so I identified with this thing right away. And without knowing it, I found myself joining a cause to get this over-engineered, underrated computer the exposure it was due just by never giving up on it or the people. But this once misunderstood computer, just to show the world up, is now celebrated as one of the most beloved, reliable products in the world ever. So there.
Oh, geez, I'm going to regret this. These are going to be plastered somewhere on like a 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock news somewhere. No. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Here's the conference guide here. And here's our really cool ad.
Hurrah!
Yay, Stacy.
Okay, now I come from a generation that doesn't get excited a lot about things from back in the day. But when we do get onto something that's really, truly great, we tend to get really up on it, so you're just going to have to deal with me on this one, okay? The International Association of Hewlett-Packard Computing Professionals, basically the first official 3000 fan club, was started back in 1974. Interx is made up of people, some inside of HP, but most of them come from outside of HP. They're contributing engineers, customers, and other people like that. They all meet, bang their heads together several times a year to get new ideas out on the table. It's these same people that are the reason the 3000's done as well as it has. And HP World, the trade show we're at and you see, is their creation. It's a show of this very same fan club's undying support and love for their HP computers. Now, kids, this trade show is huge, at least by my standards, and maybe it's just me, but almost 400 vendors participate in this huge 6-day Total Geek Fest, and it is totally cool. It's totally cool. Other members of the HP computer family are here, too. There's the HP9000 stuff, which is, the 9000 is the 3000's twin brother. It runs Unix, though. And, of course, there's all sorts of laser printer stuff here, too, but you probably guessed that it would be. But the 3000 is kind of the hometown favorite here. Truth is that none of these other computer products would even exist if it wasn't for the 3000 paving the way. And because of that, there's some serious sibling rivalry, and it gets kind of weird sometimes, but you just have to kind of stand back and let it kind of happen, you know? But you know what? This sounds like a great segue into the story of the 3000, so here goes. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Well, actually, it was only the early 70s, but that was the 70s, I guess. Early 70s were kind of new to American companies, too. Brand loyalty was either dead or dying. There was a new idealism, a new sense of responsibility, and anything seemed possible, but American products began to really suck in the public eye. And not because they were really bad, maybe, but just because that was perception of the times. But Hewlett-Packard was really lucky. They already made their name in engineering. They had a great reputation. But computers were kind of new to HP. A few were made to run their test and measurement equipment, and that's about it. They're nothing really like a corporate computer. Because of that reputation, though, whatever computer they were going to make, and by this time they really wanted to make one, was going to have to be very, very good. Projects were started, Omega, then Alpha, and a new operating system called Multi-Programming Executive. That operating system would be the soul of the 3000 forever. Excitement grew, but those deadlines shortened and shortened and shortened. And 1972 brought the first premature 3000. Marketing, being marketing, pushed it out before it was really too ready. The new system 3000, as it was called, died every 20 minutes on a customer site. This was not cool with HP people. Their reputation, they could see like spiraling down the toilet. But you know what? The 3000 dream almost died right there, but it didn't. Because the Dream Machine and its people were rebels, already changing the rules and breaking a few at the same time. But, you know, one rule was engineering would never, ever compromise again to meet a marketing deadline, ever again. And this became an official HP policy. That same dream caught on. That's where the legend started, guys. It was going to be the best computer it could be. It was renamed and re-released as the HP3000. This was its first official name change. And each new machine, through the next years, began to reflect the nonconformity of the people who designed them. They began to look like refrigerators. They began to look like freezers, desks, washing machines, anything, as long as it didn't look like a computer, but it had the same bulletproof guts. HP became the original rebel computer company, even before Apple. And by the way, the guy who started Apple actually worked for HP back in the day, so think about that. This nonconformist computer would now push new technology for the industry. HP was now in the computer business. Hello, new millennium.
What you should do is start filming through the grate. Here we are being hauled away from 3K World after being too rowdy. The cops have us. It's a mess.
Paddy wagon.
Yeah, we're in the paddy wagon.
They're brats.
Yeah.
Okay, let's face it, the economy really began to suck. Even worse in the 70s, in the mid-80s. And downsizing and desktops became the new buzzwords du jour. Basically what that meant is anything beyond your immediate desktop was now evil and wrong, especially if it lived down that hall in that glass room with air conditioning that you couldn't share. So, basically, PCs and workstations sprung up everywhere. Data was sucked out of the glass room into the PCs and workstations, never to return was the vision. Another new buzzword that sprung up was open systems. Well, actually, that's two buzzwords, but, you know. Open systems meant that any data from any computer can be shared on any other computer at any time. This was a great idea, but, like, easier said than done. Before long, open systems began to mean Unix only, and that kind of meant Unix only. Even though the 3000 could run faster and was much more stable than any of the competition, any other platform, it was considered proprietary and closed. And those were two very bad buzzwords to be right now. Even HP began to be unsure about its first brilliant kid. Their advertising began to reflect their uncertainty. Sales of the 3000 were dying left and right. But that fan club, they didn't care. They had one final move they could try to prove the 3000 was really an engineering masterpiece. And that would be a small Unix shell would be ported from its sibling, the 9000, that's the one that runs Unix, over to the 3000, allowing it to run all sorts of new software. It would be kind of a transfusion. But was it too late? Politics continued to happen, and the 3000 continued to be a victim of itself. And by the early 90s, serious plans were being made just to let it go. But guess what? A new way of looking at the world happened. It was called the Internet. And the fan club took advantage of that right away and started porting Internet crap left and right. HP engineers and customers were giving away time to move stuff to the 3000 for no other reason than just to do it and prove it could be done. As a result, cool new web pages sprung up everywhere, attached to already existing software on the 3000. Suddenly, it was the only computer in the world that could take a past and create a future. Concept, huh? Sales, of course, rose, thank you very much. And it was new customers, by the way. I think some of HP management was figuring out that they may have been a little wrong about the 3000 and its people. I mean, how many companies can say that they have customers that donate time to make a product successful, literally pay for the privilege of owning one? HP, in an acknowledgement of its success, its rebirth, for lack of a better term, knighted the 3000 with a new name, the HP3000. In many ways, this fan club that had always been there all along looked at this recognition as an admission, finally, by HP, that the role the 3000 was playing was vital to HP's success. The School of Hard Knock kid was back. The prodigal son had come home.
That's okay. I don't mind doing it out here.
He's used to it. He does it himself.
So I grew up in journalism for computers with the HP3000. And what happened to me is that I
pretty much learned my journalism trade in computers from the HP3000 community. This is a wonderful bunch of people, because what they are is glad to share everything that they know with you for as long as you want to listen. So I came in here fairly ignorant in 1984, and the HP3000 at that point was a really large business server business for HP. Other things have happened over the years. Unix and NT have come up over that 15-year period since then. But what happened was the HP3000 people never lost the faith. And what wound up happening is that HP eventually began to understand they had a business that was going to outlast any other business that they had.
It is my great pleasure to present the 1999 HP3000 Contributors Award to Alfredo Rego. Alfredo is an example of one of our greatest assets. We are fortunate to have a very large group of people like Alfredo who have been around the MPEIX platform for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, in many cases even longer. It's important to note how much these people have contributed to our success. As the 3000 experiences new growth and new success, and as we welcome new customers, we will remember how we got here. To all of our loyal customers, thank you.
The HP3000 computer is the finest price performance computer in the world. It has the best uptime statistics. I've been associated with it since 1975. It's a superior piece of hardware and outlasts the people that work on it.
Okay, well, I mean, I've been making the 3000 now for 20 years because of its stability and the robustness of the process.
Like the 3000 is my computer for life. Yeah, forever and ever. It's like even being married.
I've worked with the 3000 for probably, I moved over to that area about 5 years ago, and since I moved over to that area, it's probably been one of the most reliable systems I've ever worked on. And also, as far as maintenance goes and service times and things, I used to get calls all the time at night on all other platforms.
About the HP3000, it was the first computer I worked on that would actually stay up for a couple months running without rebooting the system.
Great. I've been with the 3000 longer than I've been with anything in my whole life. Longer than I've been married, longer than anything. Longer than my kids. I love it.
Hi. After 23 years, it's nice to be part of the 3000 community and to see that the 3000 and a lot of the rest of us are still here.
Yes, hello 3000 world. Who would have guessed you'd last this long?
So our kit has grown up and it's now being used by people who have 2,000 users online all day, and it is just fail-safe.
After using this since 1979, since the Series 2 and the Series C, and all of a sudden now coming up to the 9XX, and we're doing web work with it and e-commerce work with it, the machine's come a long way, and it's still as dependable as it always has been since day one. And I'm proud of that.
Well, I can say having been there before birth, and after birth, I'm pretty happy of the way the 3000 is kind of grown up as a very mature and sophisticated kid, I would say. So I'm proud.
My family did manage to bang one thing into my head when I was growing up. It was to make the world a better place for you having been here. Now, I'm still working on that one, okay? So don't hold me there. But I know my world is a better place because of these people. I also know that I wouldn't have had as much fun in life so far if it wasn't for these people. And all I can say is thanks. Your computer and I, God help you, have grown up, and I wouldn't have probably the way I have if it wasn't for you guys. I've learned never to give up. I do still dream about being a jock. I'm sorry, but, you know. But being a geek at large has a better ring than being a jock at large, because jock at large tends to mean out of work. Anyway, with this in mind, I propose a toast to you and your wonderful computer. Congratulations, and thanks, guys.